Hello, true believers. This came into my news feed yesterday, and again, it involves the police here in the Philippines. And let's go to the video and discuss what it is about.
Tinanggal na sa serbisyo at naharap sa kasong administratibo ang dalawang pulis matapos kikilan ang inarestong Chinese national. Si
So, this is about two police officials that were removed from their jobs and have been filed administrative cases, not criminal cases. To be clear here, administrative cases. So that means the case is just removing them from their jobs. Let's continue.
Verhil Parba magbabalita live. Verhil.
Let's go, Verhil.
Extortion nga ang naganap sa pagitan ng mga pulis at ng suspect na kanilang inaresto kapalit ng kanyang kalayaan.
So the reason why they are being filed, those two officials are being filed administrative cases, is because of extortion. They're extorting 3 million pesos for in exchange for this person to be let go. Now, let's continue with the video over here. But there's nothing you could. There's nothing the police won't be able to let you go if they ask you for 3 million pesos, because once you've been inquested, the important thing is once the courts are involved, once the judges are involved, once the prosecution is involved, then the police can't do anything about you being set free. It's out of their hands now. So part of what you have to know about the process is the police will ask you for money, and whether they can let you go or not is not they can't probably let you go, but they'll still ask you for money. But let's continue.
Tinanggal na sa trabaho ang hindi pa pinapangalan ng pulis na kasapi ng Crime Investigation and Detection Group District Field Unit.
So they didn't name the person, that the people, I guess, because they assume that these people are still innocent and until convicted, so they didn't release the name. But the funny thing is they released the name of the person that they're filing against, even though that person isn't convicted yet and presumed innocent. So let's continue.
Ng Quezon City. Ito ay matapos mangikil ng 3 milyong pisong halaga sa isang nagngangalang Adrian Dominic Ang na may
So Mr. Ang over here, they showed his picture and then even his friend. So saying that he, at least in this situation, they're saying that they arrested him for agriculture fraud or investment fraud, or it was an investment scam. So that's what he was arrested for. And then after he was arrested, and it sounds like from what I get, he was processed. The police said, "Oh, we'll drop the case, or we'll let you go, or we'll make the case go away in exchange for 3 million pesos." Now I'm doing this because your mileage may vary, but this is how much the police are asking now these days. It's not just a couple of thousand anymore. We're looking at tens of thousands of dollars. In this situation, of the current exchange rate, it's about $60,000. So I don't have $60,000, especially not to give to the police. So I just want to give you an idea how much they're asking for. Now, whether you give it or not, whether they let you go or not, I know for sure, guaranteed, that they're not going to let you go. If they do let you go, you're considered the loose end now, and that you will be dead as soon as one of the reasons why this person is still alive is because he didn't give the money. Instead, he told the auditors or the internal affairs about it, or maybe he told his lawyer about it, and his lawyer went to the internal affairs or the ombudsman, I assume, somebody, and said that these people are asking for money. But if he would have paid the money, then the police would have to be obligated or pressured or forced to kill you, because they don't want that going out, or that you paid for extortion, because they would not only lose their jobs, but they would go to jail also. So one of the main reasons why this person is still alive is he didn't pay the money. They just asked him for the money, and then he told and he told on them, and then now they're the police are being filed a case against.
Ari ng Ada Farm Agriventure. August 10 nang arestuhin nila si Ang. Araw din na yun ay agad nagsumbong ito sa Crime Investigation and Detection Group ng NCR.
So
Si Ang
August
ay hinuli
10th,
dahil sa kasong paglabag sa RA 8799 o ang Security Code o sa madaling salita ay isang investment scam.
so August 10th, he was arrested, and then right away, the same day, the police asked him for money.
Ang pinapatakbo ni Ang, kaya ito hinuli. Subalit aresto nila ang
Blowbite.
suspect nang hingi ng pera kapalit ng kanyang kalayaan. Kaya agad itong nagsumbong sa mga otoridad.
Nagsimula po ito dahil meron po tayong na yung ating pong Quezon City Field Unit ay inaresto po silang isang tao, no? At dinala po sa tanggapan ng PCDFU. At doon po, allegedly, hinihingan sila ng halaga, no? Para doon sa isang kaso na hindi iulat, no? Hindi iulat o hindi na-report. Tapos po,
So apparently, so this is what he's saying. But it looks like the case continued. But when he was arrested that same day, they asked him for money, and they won't report the case. And that is, as you can see, they still reported the case, and maybe because he didn't pay any money. But that's the biggest problem when it comes to extortion over here. That the police are, once they get the money, then they have every reason to kill you. The money is the reason to kill you. Not the money won't be the reason to let you go free or to drop the case. Let's continue.
nung gabi nga, may tumawag kay sa ating regional team, kay Police Colonel Robert Campo, nire-report itong ganitong impormasyon.
Hindi natuloy ang naturang entrapment operation dahil sa kadahilan ng pangseguridad ni FDN Ang.
So the day he was arrested, he reported it, and then they said, "Oh, okay, let's do an entrapment operation then."
Kaya naman nagsagawa ang ating sa pamumuno ng ating regional chief ay nagkasa tayo ng entrapment operation. Dangan nga na po, hindi ito natuloy dahil hindi po nakipag-cooperate.
So he said it didn't go through or didn't continue because he doesn't feel safe. I agree. He shows up with the money, and once the money has been given to them, instantly that's death right there. And I don't trust that these people are gonna keep you safe. So I wouldn't agree to that either. Now, which is opposite from my entrapment. So obviously the girls that were involved in my entrapment, they said, "Oh, you're gonna go with this guy," and they said they feel no danger whatsoever of being with me. I'm the last most dangerous person in this world in that situation. But right now, we'll talk about it later. Let's continue.
Yung complainant, ang kanya pong dahilan ay natatakot daw po siya sa kanyang safety.
He said the reason was, and I agree with what he says, that he wouldn't go through with the entrapment operation. I assume it's involved him giving them the money, and then, but like I said, once they receive the money, they probably will kill him right away as soon as they know that he has the money to tie up loose ends, which was done before with that Korean businessman. Excuse me. Let's continue with the video.
Na-assure namin naman siya ng na puproteksyonan at magiging ligtas naman po siya.
Sa kapila ng
They said they reassured he was going to be safe, but I don't trust the police reassurances. Is the last thing I trust in this situation. This is not like in the movies or in American movies where they have all this they're ready to move or surveillance right away. These people are armed and dangerous. So no, I wouldn't put my life in the line. We got people with guns, killers, murderers, and then a lot. You're bringing a lot of money into that situation. It only takes a split second to shoot you, and then they show up. No thanks.
Involved o sangkot na naturang extortion ay nagpatuloy naman ang investigasyon kaya narelibo na sa serbisyo ang dalawang pangunahing sangkot.
But they said that even though the entrapment didn't continue, they went ahead and continued the administrative case.
Sa nasabing illegal activities.
Sa ngayon po, ang nasa custody natin ay
So I guess the argument over here is like, yeah, no, the transaction wasn't completed, but the act of extorting him still occurred according to the witness, according to the person that was arrested.
na administrative relief yung dalawang personnel pa lang ng QCDFU. Yung iba, isasailalim pa rin natin sa investigasyon. No?
So they said there were two people that were definitely filed administrative cases, but I think they said there's 10 more others that they may be considering, but they're saying they didn't know anything about it, which I would probably say they knew about it. Maybe they don't know all the details about it, but they know something about it.
No? Para ma-determine natin kung ano yung involvement nila doon sa nasabing allegedly extortion.
Sa ngayon ay may 4 pa na minomonitor ang CIDG NCR at hindi rin exempted ang iba pang 10 kasamahan nito.
So they said there's 4 more that they're investigating and then another additional 10. So two formal, 4 monitoring, and 10 possible associations. So you're talking about 16 people. But the system is pretty much involved. This is kind of, let's continue and I'll give my analysis.
Si Adrian Ang ay nasa kustodiya na rin ng CIDG upang makipagtulungan sa mga pulis. Pero hindi pa rin ligtas si Ang sa kanyang naunang kaso na may kinalaman sa investment scam at patuloy ang
So they're just saying over here that he is under the custody of the CIDG, which is a dangerous situation in itself. And his first in the case against him is still ongoing. Is still pending, regardless of the extortion.
usad nito. Pero sinisiguro naman ng kapulisan ang kanyang kaligtasan habang nasa poder ito ng mga kapulisan at
But the police are ensuring his safety is what they're saying, which I don't think they have the resources to do, but they could say that they are.
hanggang sa mahuli ang iba pang involved sa extortion activities. Kaya panawagan ni Sales sa kanyang kapwa-pulis.
Kaya po sana ang ating panawagan, ang ating mga kasamahan sa kapulisan, huwag na po sana tayong gumawa o ma-involve sa mga illegal activities.
So that's what he's saying is don't get involved in this kind of police extortion activity. But you could tell in his voice that this is just the reality here in the Philippines. Police extortion, especially now in this time of pandemic, they need more money, and they will do anything, including make up lies about if they know that you have money. They'll file cases against you, even false cases against you, and this thing will go on and ongoing. I mean, I have firsthand knowledge experience of this. And never ever trust the police and never ever give them money. So this is just another example of police normal activity here in the Philippines. And like I've always said, the police over here are the organized crime. They're the ones who do the rape, murder, kidnap for ransom, and all these people know about it. And this is how they make money. This is if you have money, and they're going to use their system, their law, to be able to get money from you. And the only reason why this person is alive is because he didn't give the money, but instead he told the people, I would just say, let's just say internal affairs, the local internal affairs about this kind of activity instead. What about he didn't give the money and he's safe now, but what about The future. Well, over here, if you file a case against the police, it's also an immediate death sentence. You're gonna have to spend a lot of resources to stay alive. So those are one of the things that kind of I discussions that I have with myself, arguments that I have myself. Yes, the right thing to do is file against a case against the police, but you're gonna put your life in imminent danger because of it. In my situation, it's actually different because they actually extorted money from my credit cards, illegally extracted money from my credit cards and from my Bitcoin account, and instead of putting me, instead of killing me, instead of murdering me, as a loose end, instead they tied me up in the courts with several cases, which is worse than death. I think I would have preferred just kill me and I wouldn't have to go through the process, but then I wouldn't be alive. So it's kind of a give and take situation, but there's definitely good arguments for people who say, "Oh, I'd rather fight than die than to languish in prison forever." And that was actually their plan, that I was, instead of killing me, they were just going to kill me by putting me in prison forever. And they thought that they, by doing that, that it's better than killing me. But instead, since they had no evidence, which was something that a detail that they missed, that's why I was able to escape with my life. So probably in the future, I'll be doing a video of what you could do based on my experiences, how to stay alive. And one of the things, one of the advices, as you could see, is that in this situation is that don't give them any money, because once you give them any money, you're worth alive, more alive than you're worth more dead than alive. But as long as they don't have any money yet, you're worth. But what about in your situation? Like I said, I was in prison and they just, instead of killing me and making a big scene about it, they decided to just bury me in litigation. And that's the reason why I am still alive. But for in your situation, if you do find yourself in this situation, if you do find yourself in a similar place with the police because you have money, and don't think that something like this won't happen to you, because it's ongoing right now and might not be reported, but somewhere, someplace, the police are doing this right now, and it's better that you know about it, so it doesn't happen to you. And if it does happen to you, if you're gonna come here to the Philippines, then you need to keep in mind that you don't give them any money if you want to stay alive. And you need to keep in mind that this is the culture. This is common when it comes to money. People over here will do anything within their means, and the police especially will use their system of arresting you, of putting you in jail, and then extorting you for money in return. But if they, once they extort you for money and then you give them the money, and is this going to likely happen to you? Uh, the answer is each day goes by, as the country gets more and more in debt because of this COVID, as more and more people get more desperate, as more and more people need more money. The answer is the possibility is not decreasing, the possibilities are increasing. So if I were you people, I would avoid the Philippines like the plague, and because of this reason, and then go somewhere safe like Thailand or something like that. If you want to enjoy the manly pleasures over there, they have, and it's safe. They don't have police like this that's going to extort you for money. Before it was, I would probably say before it was handled in a professional way with a reasonable amount of money. Now it's 3 million. Now it's an instant death sentence. So it's become more dangerous, and there's more, and not more of them. All of them are just like this. But anyway, that's another example of police organized crime, extortion, It's happening all the time. It's happening every day, and it's happening now. And because the police need more money, and they're gonna get it eventually. Normally, they would just get it from other illegal activities like drugs, but in this situation, especially in my situation, they'll get it from anybody that has any money, regardless if they committed any crimes or not. Because it's over here, as you could see from the previous documents that I gave you, they can pretty much say any lies about you, and whether it's true or not, especially if it's the bigger the lie, it doesn't matter. The case is going to be formally charged against you, even if there's no evidence of it. Especially in my case, even if there's no evidence of rape or human trafficking, the cases are still going to be formally filed against you, and all because of money. Anyway, that's another police criminal activity here in the Philippines. Let me know in the comments what you think, and stay safe out there. This is Beto Tony. Thanks for watching.